Welcome back to Just Talking. We have a great show for you today because we have also a great returning guest here, and that's Marcia Sear, Head of Outreach Services at the Kenosha Public Library. Marcia, nice to see you today.
Hi, Jason. Thank you very much for having me back to your show.
Well, for those who don't know about outreach services at the Kenosha Public Library, what does the outreach services have to offer from the Kenosha Public Library?
Well, our outreach services department, the actual department is housed inside the North Side Library, but you really won't be able to find us if you go there. We're out in the community. So outreach services is the staff that you find on the bookmobile, at bookmobile, after school stops, at special events, down at Harbor Market, those types of things. We also do quite a bit of special service for seniors in the community. We go to a few senior-only buildings every other week, and we also do home delivery to seniors or disabled adults that might not otherwise be able to get to a branch. So we're busy doing a lot of different things. And we also have a librarian on staff who does specifically does literacy and STEM outreach to school kids in Kenosha area.
Don't you have like a Wi-Fi mobile unit that goes out in the community?
Yes, we do. We have 3 outreach vehicles. We have the big Discovery bus, the purple one, which is what most people are used to seeing. About 3 years ago, we got a little bit smaller bookmobile. We call that the book truck. That one is, people are getting used to seeing that one around town too. It's English on one side and Spanish on the other. And then about 2 years ago, we did get a new, we call it the Wi-Fi van. It is an oversized delivery van. It has the KPL logo on it and also the Wi-Fi logo on it. So we can go, if we're parked at a stop or in a park or at a senior building, things like that, people can connect to a public access Wi-Fi point. And actually we have added, the IT team here at the library has added those Wi-Fi points to all 3 of our vehicles. So now anytime we're at a stop or providing service, there should be a public access Wi-Fi, no password needed, available from those 3 vehicles.
Well, the Kenosha Public Library has always some great programs, and I believe this month they have something called the NASA at My Library. Let's hear all about it. What can you tell us about that?
Okay, well, last year, it kind of all started last year. We tried out some new programs that were citizen science, and we had a couple things. We had Celebrate Urban Birds, where people helped scientists at Cornell University by observing birds in their backyard or in a park 3 times, and then they sent in their data. And then in April, we had something called Bumblebee Watch, where just average people went out and counted and took pictures of bumblebees that they found. And then in August, we had a thing where people could learn about the kinds of pipes that are in our communities. And basically what the program is, you learned how to determine what kind of pipes you had. And we took a big census of pipes. So you figured out what kind of pipes you had, and you sent your data into the scientists, and the data was being basically collected and stored by these scientists to help figure out future infrastructure projects. So we had a really great turnout and a really good feedback from the citizen science programs that we did last year. And so we definitely wanted to continue to offer citizen science. About that time, I also learned about a grant that I could apply for to get funds to do NASA themed and astronomy themed science programs. So I applied for the grant, and we were one of 60 libraries in the country that got picked to be a NASA at My Library public library. So that gave us a little bit of money that we could access to do some outreach. And one of the things that NASA was really hoping for is that we could get out into the community and maybe reach people that wouldn't otherwise have access or have an opportunity to do these kinds of programs. So we're very excited to do NASA at My Library in April. April is Citizen Science Month, so we definitely wanted to do something special. We partnered with the astronomers over at Hawthorne Hollow. So Hawthorne Hollow does have an observatory out there, and their observatory is called the Schoolyard Observatory, and it's managed by William Parker. He's also a professor at UW Parkside. So I reached out to him and told him that I am really interested in doing a citizen science program that involves people learning about astronomy or the night sky. And I learned about this program called Globe at Night. And Globe at Night is a program where people, they go out into the night and they use a special meter that the library has purchased, and they measure the darkness of the sky. Or in other words, we're trying to measure how much light pollution might be all over the earth. So people all over the world will do this exact same thing. So they're going to collect the data and they're going to return it to the scientists who are running the program. And it's really important for just regular people to do this, because otherwise there's no way the scientists would be able to get to all these different points on Earth to collect the data. So, and the more data they have, the more they can learn from doing this. So light pollution has been a topic that's been in the news a little bit. You might have heard of stories of sea turtles getting lost when they're trying to get back to the sea, birds that are getting lost during migration, or birds that are running into tall buildings in urban areas because they're lit up at night. So things like that, those have been some small stories that have been in. There's a little bit more information out there, getting out to people about how the effect of, good sleep on their bodies, how it can really affect their overall health. And there is a little bit of a study now that's happening about the effect of people's, the darkness that they're sleeping in and how that might affect them. So anyways, so Globe at Night is a citizen science program that encourages anyone who wants to participate to be able to participate and to be able to send in their data. So one of the things about this particular program is that you do have to use a specific meter to measure the night sky. And that's one of the things to make sure that all the data that goes to the scientists is the same so that it can be measured. So that's kind of called like clean data. So the library has purchased 8 or 9 of these light meters, and we actually put together some kits, and the kits are called Measuring Light in the Night. But basically it is the specific exact meter that's needed to participate in this program. It's really pretty easy, but we are offering some programs on Friday nights in April with Mr. William Parker from Hawthorne Hollow, the astronomer expert. He's coming, he's teaching us how to find what we need to find in the sky, how to use the meter, and then how to report back the data. And so we have one of those is going to be Friday night, April 8th at 8:30 at Southwest Library. Another is going to be Friday night, April 22nd at Northside Library, and Friday night, April 29th, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Uptown Library. And all 3 of these do require us to have clear skies. So we are going to have a makeup date for each one of these if the skies aren't clear enough.
And collaborating with Hawthorne Hollow, for those who haven't been out there, I believe they even have an observatory there, so it's neat
Yes.
to experience that as well.
Yeah. And actually, as a result of the partnership that we got together with to have the programs for Globe at Night, we also decided to collaborate and have an open house out at the observatory. So this is something they do have open houses and programs out at their observatory pretty regularly. But this is different because it is going to be free for library patrons. And this is something, a program that they would usually be charging people for access. So we have an evening of stargazing, and people will have access to the observatory, the telescope. The astronomers that work there will be out there that night to help people learn about what they're seeing in the skies. There's a possibility of a meteor shower on the night that we have planned. So that night, the open house at the Schoolyard Observatory at Hawthorne Hollow over on Green Bay Road, that is going to be Saturday, April 23rd, 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. So we have something called astronomical twilight, and then we have something called full dark. So 9 p.m. is just getting to the end of astronomical twilight. It's dark enough that the stars start to appear, but it's not quite full dark. But then obviously by the time we get to 12 a.m., it will be full dark. So, and some people might know that the sky changes during different seasons of the year because of where we are in the world and our rotation around the sun. And actually every night the sky changes as well because the earth is making a 1-day rotation, 24-hour rotation. So in the night, you'll learn how to find the North Star. The North Star is almost always pretty much in the same place, but then the night sky will change around it depending on what time of the night you're looking. So that's interesting. You might be able to come to an open house in April, and then let's say we have another one in July, which we're planning. You can come back in July and you can expect that the seasonal sky will be different. You'll see different things in the sky than you would if you came in April. So that's kind of neat. And we do have a rain date or a cloudy sky makeup date as that as well. So our planned date is Saturday, April 23rd. But if for some reason it's not good skies that night, then the makeup date will be Saturday, April 30th. So if it ends up being on April 23rd, we are expecting to hopefully see the tail end of a meteor shower that night. But if we have cloudy skies that night, the meteor shower will be done by the time the makeup date comes.
Any other last minute things about any dates or events for the citizen science in the month?
Yeah, just a couple little things. We have some kits available for people who maybe are into crafties or just likes to do little do-it-yourself craft type activities. We have a program that's for adults in all ages called Binary Baubles. And this is a little kit where you could pick it up at the library. It's just first come, first serve. The kits are available at all the library branches and the bookmobile. And that is a kit where you can make your own little piece of jewelry based on the stars and coding. It's just a fun thing. And then we have a kit available for little children. It's a do-it-yourself craft telescope. We have a little kit that has everything you need in it to make your own cardboard telescope. You won't have glass in there or any special lenses, but it would be appropriate for a preschooler or a toddler to handle and feel like they have their own telescope. Those are available at any bookmobile stop throughout the month of April. And we will also have the kits available for pickup at the NASA at My Library programs that I mentioned. Or if you see this video and you're not able to make one of those programs, you can call the Outreach Services Department and we can set a kit aside for you. That number is 262-564-6190.
What's the general website that people can look at any type of events or programs?
The general website is www mykpl.info, info, www.mykpl.info. And there are some directions available to get to the observatory that is over at Hawthorne Hollow. If you're not familiar where that is, we have a link at www.mykpl.us/stargazing.
Any last minute things about the NASA at my library before we go?
I just want to encourage everybody who thinks that, they're not a scientist, that they come and explore our citizen science programs. We're just trying to make programs that are really interesting for people, and a program that is really anyone can participate in and be part of, a bigger science movement.
All right. Well, with that, we want to thank Marcia Sear from Outreach Services at the Kenosha Public Library. And a great event, the Citizen Science, that's at my library. And Marcia, thank you so much for telling us today.
Thank you, Jason. I hope to see you stargazing soon.